How disrespectful was this to Harden?
I say very. Now, that doesn't mean that Russell Westbrook doesn't have love and respect for his brother, his former teammate, James Harden, who Oklahoma City should have never lost, who Clay Bennett should have come an additional $4 million out of his pocket. $4 million total out of his pocket to keep in Oklahoma City. It doesn't negate that. And I'm only playing around because it's not like Russell Westbrook was intending to be disrespectful. He just is who he is. He ain't trying to give anybody but so much love unless they on his team. That's how Russell Westbrook rolls. But I will say this. James Harden is averaging 30. 8.7 assists per game, over 5 rebounds per game, shooting 45% from the field. Houston has the best record in the entire NBA. They have been an absolute model of consistency. He's played 71 of the 80 to 81 games this year. He's been absolutely sensational from start to finish. Plus, he's been a leader on this squad as well. He deserves a hell of a lot more appreciation and a hell of a lot more respect. And, oh, by the way, even while competing against Russell Westbrook last year for league MVP honors, James Harden never failed to give his former teammate the kind of love that Russell Westbrook deserves. I know this because I interviewed James Harden, and he told me directly how proud he was of the job that Russell Westbrook did last year in the aftermath of Kevin Durant's departure and what level of love and respect Russell Westbrook deserved from all of us, even while competing with him so closely for league MVP honors up until those last couple of weeks. So I look at it now, and it's like, wait a minute, the kind of year that James Harden is having right now, we got to step back and look at what this brother has done and recognize it for being as special as it is. This man deserves league MVP without question. And I think Russell Westbrook should have been one of the first to say that.
It was disrespectful to LeBron James, the obvious MVP of the regular season as usual, of the NBA as usual. Look, you can throw out James Harden's stats all you want, and I can counter with LeBron's. And some stats, James Harden has a slightly higher scoring average. They shoot the three about the same, but Harden takes more of them. LeBron will have more rebounds. Assists will be this way. The shooter's field goal percentage go to LeBron. This one will go to Harden. They'll be comparable in terms of on a per-game basis who's most valuable. But Harden's missed 8 games. LeBron has missed 0. So who's more valuable? I mean, like, this is very simple. Even my eyeball test tells me LeBron's better than Harden. If anyone else sees something different, okay, the advanced stats say it's close enough that
doesn't always win the MVP.
But when one dude, LeBron in this case, on a per-game basis is better than the other dude, and he plays all the games and the other dude misses 8 games, I'm not giving James Harden the teammate award. He's the greatest player who also is on a great team. That's James Harden. That award is called the standings. That's why Houston has the best record. They already have an award for that. You're the number 1 seed. That's what Chris Paul's your teammate. You have Capella and all these guys. Eric Gordon. That a great coach, a system, the whole thing, great GM. That's the standings. They have that already. The Cavs are 4 seed. This is an individual award. Who is the best player? That's LeBron James every year. And Westbrook didn't even just mean maybe it's LeBron, maybe it's Harden. Obviously, he's also talking about himself. Seems that way to me.
You know, it's interesting that you bring this up because I think, and not that this is a shining example, one that illuminates what I'm saying, but I'm going to try anyway because it's not that big of a deal, but it crystallizes the difference between you and I in terms of our thinking about this particular issue. Friday night, LeBron James was sensational.
Oof.
Sensational.
44 and 11.
In the second half. Mm-hmm. In the first half, they were getting annihilated by 30. What I'm saying is let's compartmentalize it and just say it's not a game we're talking about, it's a season. There have been times when LeBron James has been absolutely sensational. There has been times, even though he got his numbers, where he was anything but. And the team was on that roller coaster ride and they were struggling. He'd get his numbers. He always gets his numbers because that's who he is. He has that kind of ability. That's what he brings to the table. But in terms of being a model of upward consistency and mobility, that has been James Harden throughout this year. The kind of things that you marveled at LeBron doing and the Cavaliers ultimately doing in moments is what Houston has consistently done from start to finish throughout this year, and the one element of consistency that has been there has been James Harden. Harden. It is undeniable, and that's how I look at him this year. It's not a matter of him, even though he's a better shooter, and he's a better three-point shooter, and he's a better free throw shooter. Overall, of course, he's not LeBron James. But Cleveland has been on a roller coaster ride, and at times so has LeBron, even when he got his numbers. And I'm saying to you, that hasn't been the case with James Harden.
I don't think we see that differently. In other words, sometimes on this show, people see two people butting heads because you have your opinion, I have mine,
Right.
and we just disagree about it, we argue about
Right.
it. That doesn't mean I don't see any arguments on James
Same
Harden's
here.
side of the ledger.
Same
It's like
here.
he goes, okay. There are arguments for James Harden. There's evidence for James Harden that I would not dispute. The consistency, even if he is plugged into a better system with better players,
Right.
and that makes him a better player, he still deserves credit for being a better player.
Especially when the system evolves around him.
Sure, absolutely. And he's not alienating teammates that result in trades and all that stuff. I do take that into consideration. I'm saying even taking that into consideration, there's just more evidence for LeBron.
And I'm saying
he's
no.
finishing in the top half of the East. He has worse teammates. He hasn't missed any games. His numbers are just as good, if not better. He's the best player in the game. He passes the eyeball test. I'd rather have him than Harden on my team. So would you. I mean, but it's not by any measure. By some measures, like the one you just pointed out, you prefer Harden. But when you weigh it in the balance, who do you want on your team to make your team the best? Give me LeBron on my team.
Again, if we're sitting there and saying who's the best player in the world, there have been plenty of times when guys have been the best player in the world, but they went through a bad month, for example. I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm saying if you went through a bad month and the other guy didn't, and he's been more of a model of consistency. I'm saying he's been more of a model of consistency. Let's say, for example, you had 3 good months, and he had 6, but we all know you the better player. It doesn't negate the fact that for this particular regular season, even if I would want that guy in the postseason, even if I knew that guy was an overall better player, it doesn't make you the MVP.
So you